Crash Bandicoot, one of gaming's most iconic marsupials and a platforming legend, is going to be the subject of this episode of Side Quest, the show where we take a break from the podcast to play some amazing games. This time I'm going for the impossible, to platinum
Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back.
Now, the last trophy I got in this game was back in 2018, but I was determined to add another Crash game to my trophy cabinet. If getting the platinum on the first game had taught me anything, is that this would be a test of patience and my gaming ability, as the true hurdle to that precious 102% completion is the Time Trial Relics. These involved running through the already hard as nails levels in a quick enough time to earn a gold or platinum relic. But before we go on to the time trials, let me talk over the other trophies I had to clean up first. There was the trophy for getting 99 lives, which you can easily get from attacking this beehive in the level Behaving. If you're sick of that pun, just you wait until the other level names. Next up was using Coco's double leg drop on 5 enemies, doing a gem path after finding a coloured gem, and the trophy Crash Cubed, which required me, as the trophy says, to fly, then die. Well, isn't that a very wholesome trophy? We then moved on to the secret exits, of which there were 5. 1 in Air Crash, 1 in Unbearable, 1 in Digging It, 1 in Bear Down, and 1 in Hanging Out. Now that these easy trophies are out of the way, it did leave me with the 2 biggest time sinks: the gems and the time trials. The large number of the gems come from smashing all the boxes in a level, and some come from the occasional challenge in a level, such as plant food, where you need to reach the end within a certain time. These gems were easy for the most part, however I would be remiss if I didn't mention how hard these levels were to get all the boxes. Cold Hard Crash. This is already one of the harder levels in the game, but there is a death route that makes getting all the boxes a miserable experience. This route requires perfect manoeuvring on the final stretch of ice, because if you go too fast, you will fall down a pit and be taken to the next part of the level with no way back. That, paired with the perfect run you need to have with the Aku mask to avoid all the nitro crates in the way, can lead to plenty of frustration. Ruin Nation. Is that a pun? Is that meant to be a pun? The bonus path in this level was so hard. The path was littered with steel crates you have to jump onto and smash, and you need to use the TNT crates to climb up these box towers to make sure you can get all the boxes. This also seemed to be the only gem path that showed the flaws in the game's 3D platforming, as even though it was a side-scrolling level, one wrong jump and you can hurl yourself down one of the edges. All in all, this level was a true test of your platforming whilst trying to smash every single crate. Despite these levels, I eventually got all the gems, and as I watched the orange rat spit out the final one, I knew that I was in the end game. Before we descend down the rabbit hole of all the time trials that made me lose my mind, I'm sure you're thinking, surely there must be an easy time. It's totally Fly. This level should have a lot working against you, namely the lack of visibility, but thankfully it's a pretty short stage, and as long as you don't move too slowly, you'll always have a Firefly following you and showing you the way. Not much more to say here, so let's move on to the top 5 hardest time trials. Number 5. Hanging Out. This level is hard because it demands perfect timing from the player in order to get through quickly. The best example is the monkey bar sections, which see you moving along whilst avoiding these robots. If you are even a second off in your navigation here, you will either get caught behind them and waste your time, or you'll run into them and be killed. Number 4. Ruin Nation. Running through the collapsing ruins of an ancient civilization, what could possibly go wrong? I actually got the platinum relic in this stage, so you're probably thinking that this would have been easy. No. This level was a constant barrage of enemies, platforms and hazard, meaning that you really have to be on it. There is no room for error here. By the end, my brain was like a supercomputer trying to map out an optimal route. Special shout out to the tiki heads and trying to avoid their fire. Also, this 3-column stretch you have to do towards the end of the level. How you're meant to do this quickly, I have no idea. Number 3. Piston It Away. You can definitely say that again. This level is another one where you have to set off at the right time, or else you're going to hit roadblock after roadblock that will slow you down. I also have to take the time to say how annoying this bloody piston was at the start of the level. You set off a millisecond late, you get squashed. This level is a mental exercise in jumping, sliding and navigating enemies that have to be taken down in a certain way. The squid things also boast the most out of whack hitboxes, which constantly drove me to the edge of madness. Number 2. Cold Hard Crash. This level took an age to do, and where do I even begin here? Ice physics, which often make you glide into pits, log traps which you need to run past quickly to avoid being squashed, icicles to avoid, and on top of all of this, it's one of the longest levels in the game, so if you mess up or die, you have to spend what feels like an eternity trying it again. Now I must confess, Number one is not one individual level, but a few. What do they all have in common? This bear. These levels without a doubt were some of the hardest to get the gold relics on, and why is that? Because when the game first came out in 1997, there were no speedruns, there were no time trial relics. So when it comes to the remastered trilogy, nothing shows this fact more than the bear levels. You are constantly riding this bear, boosting occasionally to jump over obstacles, but when it comes to the speedruns, you need to use this boost constantly. And oftentimes, because you're moving too fast, you don't know what's coming ahead of you, and for certain stages like Totally Bear, which is completely in the darkness, you have no idea what is up ahead. And then you've got levels like Unbearable, which for the most part is a very Crash-centric level. You're not riding anything, so you are just running through. There are these mines every now and then, but when you get to the bear section, this can be the turning point, because whenever this bear hits one thing, you fly off and then you have to start all over again. So this 10-15 second stretch feels like an eternity, and you are constantly hoping that you make it through. I would constantly delay trying to do these levels when I was going for the time trials, but my final one stopping me from getting the platinum was Bear It. And after many attempts, finally, on this prestigious run, I got the platinum trophy. The pure joy I felt in this moment was immeasurable. All the pain, all the hardship had paid off for this glorious addition to my trophy cabinet. I triggered the final cutscene for getting all of the gems, and then I knew that I could finally rest, for the Crash Bandicoot 2 experience was over. Would I recommend anyone else going after this platinum? Yes, I would. I would say every other trophy apart from the time trials does make this a very easy experience, like it's not a bad platinum, but do prepare yourselves to get a bit frustrated, and it will take time to perfect these time trials. And also, get ready for your hands to hurt. The way I had to hold my controller for these time trials for some reason really did something to my thumb, so there's something. It's a physical toll as well as a mental one apparently. I want to thank you for making it through this video. I hope you enjoyed this platinum journey. Maybe there'll be some more in the future, but do like and remember to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, as well as our normal film and TV and game reviews on the podcast.